What's up, Bills Mafia? What's up, Saberhood? What's up, everybody else? You are watching the J-Red Show on YouTube and TikTok. Both the Bills and the Sabres made some moves. They're both wheeling and dealing. Starting off with the Bills, they released Taron Johnson, Curtis Samuel, Taylor Rapp, and Dane Jackson. Really no surprise there, just cutting some dead weight, clearing some salary cap, and hoping to make a big splash in free agency. It's a little bittersweet losing Taron Johnson because he has one of the best plays in franchise history. That huge pick six in 2021 against the Baltimore Ravens. But he's a shell of his former self. He really needed to go. Bills just needed to clear some salary cap space and pretty much changed from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Adapt to Jim Leonard's system. They also got rid of Curtis Samuel, and they made a trade. They got their wide receiver. They got DJ Moore. Traded him to from Chicago. They traded a 2026 second-round pick and a 2026 fifth-round pick. This isn't my... I thought this was a pretty good trade. I mean, I do expect more to happen, and I hope it's not the only wide receiver they get. But DJ Moore is a very good wide receiver, and now he will have Josh Allen thrown to him. And I said, I like this move. This is the type of wide receiver that Allen needs. One who gets good separation and sell himself to get open. I can see him having a big year this year. In other news, the Vegas Raiders trade the Las Vegas Raiders traded Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks. So, again, very mixed feelings from a Ravens perspective. Max Crosby is a very good defensive player, and this will dramatically improve the Ravens' defense. But it is really steep. Two first-round picks. And the question is, like, how much does Lamar Jackson have left in the tank? Because as a Bills fan, I feel a lot better about Josh Allen than what Ravens fans do about Lamar Jackson. And while it would have been nice to have Crosby on the defense, he's a 4-3 guy and doesn't really fit the Bills system. I think what the Bills look for is lighter, natural outside linebackers. But as always, we will find out what he thought. So far, I'm really excited. I mean, there's still a lot to be done, but I'm really happy with the Bills have done today. So what are your thoughts? Hit me on Twitter at JRed Show. And I'm also happy with what the Buffalo Sabres have done. So I'm really happy with this trade. They gave up Rosen and Bryson and a second rounder. Bryson, I thought's a dud. The Sabres really could have moved on from him. Rosen, it stinks for Rochester, whose season's fallen apart. But, as a Sabres fan, I'm really happy that Shen an upgrade over Rosen. Shen an upgrade over Bryson. Rosen had to be moved, and happy we'll get a chance elsewhere. Won't lose much sleep over a second-round pick. Rosen is sort of the player Adams liked, but it's no longer the player they needed. They needed grit, and now they have Stanley and Carrick. Luke Shen seems to be kind of a throw-in. He's got a ton of experience. That's a great thing. Injuries do happen. The D will have some much-needed depth. They also got Sam Carrick. So I like to stop. They also traded Sam Carrick to the Rangers for some draft picks. They also got Tanner Patterson for a second-round pick. So these are grit. So they traded for grit and depth. They really needed some muscle as they make their way into a playoff push, and they got it. So, as of now, the Buffalo Sabres are very likely going to make the playoffs. Barring like a historic collapse, they are 8 points ahead of the Columbus Blue Jackets. It would be pretty close to a miracle if the Sabres don't make the playoffs, but they're 37-19-6. But now the Buffalo Sabres can still focus on continue to focus on winning the division, as they are currently tied with the Tampa Bay Lightning for first place in the division. And this unbelievable season that no one saw coming continues to be great for the Sabres. Just an unbelievable turnaround. Ever since they fired Kevin Adams, they have just played at a pace that they have never done in the history of the franchise. I keep waiting for the shoe to drop and for the Sabres to go into a slump, but it has not happened yet. And you just see the comparisons between this and the 2005-2006 Buffalo Sabres. You know, as we head to the playoffs, I was thinking about like expectations for this team. I compare this to the Buffalo Bills. When they broke the playoff drought in 2017, most Bills fans were happy. It didn't matter that it took an Andy Dalton touchdown pass to get in. It didn't matter that he only put 3 points on the board against Jacksonville. Bills fans were just happy to be back in the playoffs after more than a decade and a half. And then a few years later, the Bills won a playoff game for the first time in 25 years. Bills fans were happy with that. Then the next year, the 13 seconds year, it's become championship or bust. Well, for the Sabres, my initial thought process is it would be kind of like the Buffalo Bills. Initially, I would be thinking it would be like the Buffalo Bills. Sabres fans should be happy just making the playoffs. And then, I think this year it's a little bit higher than that. I think most Sabres fans are expected to at least win a playoff series. Something they have not done since the infamous day of July 1st, 2007. However, the fact that this team is historically good, never done in the history of the franchise, and you just see the comparisons to 2005 and 2006, and you gotta think to yourself, should we be thinking about the Stanley Cup? Because I'm starting to think about the division, but I also feel like the East is wide open. I mean, the Sabres clobbered the Lightning 5-1 a few days ago. Carolina might scare me, but I don't know. And then in the West, we have that machine Colorado Avalanche, so we might stop at the Stanley Cup Finals. But that's not my prediction. Barring injuries or something catastrophic, I can definitely see the Sabres go to the Finals. And hey, that 05-06 team, if it wasn't for injuries, they probably would have won the Cup. So, how many of you out there are starting to think about the Stanley Cup? Is this the year? I mean, it's probably the best chance for a while. They have great goaltending. Florida's having a down year. They might bounce back up next year. Could it be fate? What are your thoughts? Hit me on Twitter at DreRedShow, and I will see you later.